We were talking about some facts about water. The first question here to state some facts about water. Water at Earth can be, I said before, fresh or salt water. You can find salt water in oceans, lakes, and it contains salt and minerals. Actually, most of the Earth's water is salty water. Okay, but actually, we can find animals living there inside the salty water. And also we have like 3% of water on Earth frozen, but it is especially in the Arctic, and the liquid one will be in rivers, lakes, and ponds, and also swamps. What's meant by desalinization? Desalinization, what's meant by desalinization? Raise your hand. What's meant by desalinization? Yes, Karim?
It means filtering the salty water into fresh water.
Thank you very much. Yes, it means to filterize or to change the salty water into fresh water in order to be using them whether in farming or as drinking water. Okay, so that's what's meant by desalinization. Yesterday I told you that also we have groundwater, and the groundwater contained under the Earth's crust. As you see here in the picture, we all live on the Earth's crust. Okay, so the Earth, Earth or the underground water is here under this crust. How does it get under the crust? Through these rocks. Can you see the cracks in the rocks? These rocks, when it rains, make all water goes under the ground. So also some countries depend on these underground water in their life. Another part of it, we mentioned what are the Earth's four largest bodies of water. We said that we have the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, and the Arctic. They are all connected to one another. We also said the definition of a bay and the definition of a gulf. A bay is surrounded by land, where the ocean waters can partially surrounded by land. So this is the ocean water. It's not any kind of water. And the Gulf, as you can see here, the Gulf, large areas that are partially surrounded by land here. And here, these are large areas that are surrounded by land. Also, we have been talking about fresh water that we can find in the river. And we said that the river ends in a point that's called the mouth of the river. And this point is very particular with its rich soil, which is very, very famous for farming or very useful for farming. It has a most important kind of silt, and silt is very, very important in farming. Also, we have the delta, and the delta is the area where silt clay is dropped in the mouth of the river. This is the delta. The last thing we have covered yesterday, how do bodies of water affect people? And we said people can fish for food, the ocean floor can be mined for minerals. Also, it is used for transportation and sports recreation. Also, water is very important in drinking, and we also use it in farming. Okay, let's start by our lesson today. What's meant by the water cycle? Who can tell me a brief summary about the water cycle? Who can raise hand and tell me about the water cycle? Yes, Karim.
Starts when water boils because of the sun. Then it evaporates and go into the sky. Then condensate to form clouds. Then it fall down as precipitation, like rain or snow.
Thank you very much, Karim. As you can see here, guys, on the picture, it starts when the sun rises here. So what happens to water? Water or large bodies of water evaporate. As you can see here, because of the heat of the sun, water evaporates here. These are the red arrows for the water evaporation. Then it will form like clouds here. They are gathering together in clouds. Then the clouds hit each other. So it's condensation. When they are condensed, they will, when they hit each other, they fall down as precipitation, such as rain, snow, hail, or sleet. Then they are here. This is the fourth operation, which you listen about it for the first time. You hear about it for the first time, which is collection. Collection is for all the water to be collected in bodies of water, collected by in rivers, in lakes, in oceans, and so on. So again, we have what's water cycle? Water cycle is the system of water movement over and under and above the Earth's surface. It changes forms as it's recycled, and it has many forms, or it has many cycles. The first one, evaporation. When the sun warms the water on the Earth, the liquid water changes into water vapor. That is evaporation. Then it comes the condensation. Condensation, when the tiny droplets of air rise to the atmosphere and gather into clouds. The water vapor changes into liquid state, which is condensation. Then the precipitation, when the water falls on Earth as rain, as snow, or hail. Then the collection. This is the new one. Collection is to collect water in rivers, lakes, oceans, or whatever, or the underground water. So we have more important operations: the evaporation, the condensation, the precipitation, and the collection. So again, let me stop here and ask you a question. What's meant by evaporation? Who can tell me what's meant by evaporation? Word?
It is when the sun warms the water on Earth and makes it turn into water vapor.
Thank you very much, Yaward. Thank you. What's meant by condensation? Condensation. Kareem?
Condensation is when the evaporated water cools down and turn into rain. Or
yes, when the water vapor cools down, it turns into water, again, liquid water, and in the form of rain. Now, what about the precipitation? Who can tell me what's meant by precipitation? Marwa.
I can answer.
Who can answer?
Me.
Okay, Ahmed.
Precipitation is when the water falls down back to Earth.
Thank you. In the shape of?
The droplets.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. And the collection is the new one. What's meant by collection? Kareem?
collection is when rain falls into rivers or seas or even underground.
Yes.
And
yes, thank you very much, Kareem. When the collection of water in rivers, in lakes, in oceans, and underground supplies. This is what's meant by the collection. Did human actions damage the world water supply? Yes, actually, it has damaged the world water supply. When the people started to damage water, such as when people started to throw toxic chemicals, through rubbish, they have polluted the rivers and the lakes and the ocean and the underground water. But how come? When we have cars walking on the street and they are having kind of smoke coming out of it, and we have factories which has toxic chemicals, these toxic chemicals arise or rises to the sky, okay? Then when rain comes, this rain will mixture with these toxic chemicals, then comes the acid rain. And this acid rain will pollute the drinking water. So How come human actions damage the water supply? يعني how come احنا we don't enter with the water? How can we damage it? We damage it through different things. While throwing stuff or polluting the rivers, ourselves, or even by driving cars or the factories. These cars or factories have like toxic chemicals coming out of it through these toxic chemicals coming in the form of in the form to the sky, and the mixture with the rain coming out of the sky, and these will pollute the drinking water. Yes. How does it come? The toxic chemicals, cars and the factories will have chemicals in the shape of smoke. Smoke is coming out of the cars and the smoke is coming out of the factories. Then this smoke will pollute the rain. So it produces something called acid rain. So what's meant by acid rain? Acid rain, when some of fuels release poisonous gases, these acid rains come. They combine with the water vapor which fall to earth, making acid rain. But what does the acid rain do to us? It pollutes the drinking water. It erodes mountain in the process of weathering. And it also kills plants and animals. Why? When acid rain comes and animals and the plants start dealing with it, it will kill them. It is poisonous. It is poisonous. Okay, so who can tell me what's meant? What's meant by acid rain? Acid rain.
I know.
Or
I
how
know.
acid rain comes? Who said I know? Ahmed?
I know. I can answer.
Muhammad. طب let's have Muhammad عشان this is the first time. يلا محمد.
Acid rains comes when the pollution happens and it goes to the air in the form of a cloud, and then it
Smoke. It is smoke.
as acid rain.
Yes. So it
Miss, I know.
Okay, Ibrahim, huh?
Their acids then fall to earth as deadly mixture, and they damage the environment in several ways.
Yes, they damage the environment in several ways. طب how does it damage the environment?
What?
How does it damage the environment? How?
It pollutes the water human and animal drink.
Yes, and it could make the animals and human die out of it.
Yes.
Okay, this is what's meant by acid rain.
And also the acids damage trees and other plants.
Yes, they make also them die. And when trees die, we will not have more oxygen to breathe or to use it in our daily life. So it will be disastrous for all humans and plants and also animals. Okay, so again, let's start our lesson revision from the beginning for those who are attending online. This is chapter 2, lesson 3. Chapter 2, lesson 3, land and water. The very beginning question we were asking, how come we group landform? We said that we group landform according to two things, their elevation and their relation with water. We group landform using two things, their elevation and their relation with water. Who can define what's meant by elevation? What's meant by elevation? Yes.
Me.
Who wants to say elevation?
Me.
ماشي ورد. Ibrahim, wait, ورد.
It is how high above or below sea level a feature is.
How high or low above the sea level a feature is. Thank you very much. So scientists, when they are grouping the landform, they are using two ways, their elevation and their relation with water. Let's start by the elevation. We said that we have plateaus. What's meant by a plateau? Who can tell me what's meant by a plateau?
May I answer?
Yes.
It's a high flat ground above all the ground that surrounds it.
Thank you very much. Yes, a plateau, as you can see, a flat area that rises above the surrounding land. We said also that we have plains. What's meant by a plain? Who can say what's meant by a plain?
Me is a large
Huh?
expanse of land that can be flat or have the
Gentle.
gentle roll.
Yes, as you can see, it is very flat and very wide in front of you, but sometimes it has a gentle roll, Okay,
Yeah.
what's meant by a peninsula? As you can see from the picture, what's meant by a peninsula? Huh?
Me, can I say?
Yes, yeah, Adam.
Is a long, narrow landform that extends into water. It is always connected to a large land at one minute.
Yes, as you can see here, a peninsula is a large, a long, narrow landform that extend into water here, but it is always connected to a larger land mass here at one end only. The rest of the ends are in water. As you can see in the picture. It is surrounded by water from 3 sides, and one side only is connected to land. What's meant by a valley? Who can tell me what's meant by a valley?
Me, I want to say.
Okay.
Is a lowland area between two high sides. Some valleys are small and others are very large.
Very much, yes. It's a lowland area between two higher sides, as you can see here in the picture. Lowland area between two higher sides. Some of them can be small and others can be large. And they are used for what? For two things. They are used as rich soil for farming, and they are used for raising livestock. Yeah, means raising animals. That's what's meant by a valley. All of these are divided according to their elevation. Okay, what's meant by isthmus? Isthmus. An isthmus, as you can see here, is a narrow strip of land. Connect what? Two bodies of water? No, it connects two large land areas because we have the canal. Canal is connecting two bodies of water, but isthmus is narrow strip of land here connecting two larger land areas. Now give me an example. As you can see here in the picture, we have the Central American country of Panama. It's an isthmus that's located on the northwest point in America. Okay. About the bodies of water, we said that we have three features. The floor, the ocean of the floor has different three landforms. No, actually, there are 4 or 5 landforms. The three main ones are the continental shelf and the trench. What about the continental shelf? Continental shelf, as you can see, is underwater plain. Yani it's a plain but underwater that borders the edge of a continent. It ends when it slopes. Yani when does it end? When in the slope here, this is a slope, downward to the ocean floor. It ends when it slopes. This is the first one, the continental shelf. We have the trench. The trench is a long, narrow, steep side, as you can see here. A cut on the ocean floor. Here, this is the ocean floor. There is a cut here. This cut is called trench. Also, the ocean floor has two main features. It has mountains and volcanoes. Mountains and volcanoes. Okay, طب who can tell me what are the 3 forms of water that can be found on Earth? What are the 3 forms of water? Muhammad.
Rivers, oceans, and seas.
No, 3 forms,
Lakes.
not bodies, form. We have 3 states of water. What are they?
Miss, I can't hear you.
3 states, not bodies of water. 3 states. What are they? Kareem.
Solid, liquid, and gas.
Kareem, raise your voice.
Solid, liquid, and gas.
Yes, solid, liquid, and gas. طيب, who can give me example for the solid land form? Solid and liquid and gas. Yes, يا ورد.
Glaciers, polar ice caps, and ice sheets.
Thank you, yes. And for the liquid, Kareem?
Rain. Rain and underground.
Yes, rain and underground water. What about the gases? Huh? What?
The water vapor that is found in the atmosphere.
Thank you very much. Yes, the water vapor that can be found in the atmosphere, which changes later on into rain when it cools down. These are the 3 main parts or the 3 main states of water. Okay. So here, as you will see on the PowerPoint I'm going to be sharing right now, you'll find that water exists in 3 forms, solid, liquid, and gas, and they can be found. Solids can be found in glaciers, polar ice caps, and ice sheets. The liquid will be found in rivers, lakes, and oceans. But gases are water vapor that could be found in the atmosphere. Okay, this was the end of the lesson today. Anyone from the online or even the students who are attending have any question about the lesson?
No.
No.
Now, guys, let me remind you, we have agreed that we're going to be having a quiz on
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, next Tuesday. Okay, this quiz will only cover chapter 1, lesson 1 and 2 only this time. And this week, I'll be covering chapter 1, lesson 1 and 2 only. Then we'll
quiz عن ايه؟
chapter 1, lesson 1 and 2 only.
Okay.
Again, this quiz this time.
Miss, the people are the online. How will they take the quiz?
They will take it online only. Ibrahim, you have your online session on which day?
Thursday only.
No, I mean the other, the extra.
The extra, I'm gonna see.
I guess it was yesterday, Wednesday.
Miss, يوم Wednesday, Miss.
Wednesday, right? Okay. So
Yes.
you'll be having, I'll inform you whether you're going to be having on Tuesday or Wednesday. But inshallah, maybe it will be on for all of you on Tuesday, online and physical.
Okay,
but
Miss.
I will divide your quiz only for grade 7 for 2 quizzes. You will have 2 quizzes. The first one will cover chapter 1, lesson 1 and 2. Again, on Tuesday, you'll be covering chapter 1, lesson 1 and 2. Starting from Sunday, I will revise with you lesson 1 and 2, and I will start uploading the model answer for the worksheets. Model answer for the worksheet. Okay? Do not forget to give me all of your late homeworks. This is your last chance this week. Abdurrahman Sabh, you're here? Budi.
Yes.
How are you doing today? You are okay?
Yes.
How is your feet?
Good.
Good, alhamdulillah. Dahroog. Where is Dahroog?
Yes, yeah, Miss.
How are you doing today? Why were you absent?
I was traveling.
Traveling, but you are okay, Yan.
Yes.
Okay, yalla. See you, inshallah, all of you on Sunday at school, okay? You need to ask any question, send it to me on WhatsApp. Yalla, see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.